Sometimes it's hard to decide what to watch during quarantine, so we have made it real easy for you. Here are 10 high school movies that we recommend you to watch.
The first movie that I want to recommend to you guys is The Kissing Booth. It's a romantic comedy film that will remove the saying that women and men cannot be friends. It is about two best friends, Al and Lee. Both of them are born on the same day at the same time. Also, both of them like to dance. This makes Lee and Al are keeping close in childhood. Besides, their relationship had been started up since their mothers. For protecting their special relationship, Lee and Al are set up the 10 rules. The problem is occur that the rule number 9 is do not fall in love with best friend relatives. This is the hardest rule for Al because Lee's brother Noah is the hottest boy in high school. Moreover, he is Al's crush.
Awesome.
You have zero experience with guys. You've never even had a boyfriend.
Whatever.
Al keeps this as a secret, but it has some situation happenings at the kissing booth, which make Al lose her first kiss to Noah. The various chaotic stories began.
Is it from a boy?
But how Al will end it up. This will destroy her best friend relationship with Lee or not, or Al need to break up with the man she loves. If you want to know what would be happen on the story, you can find the end at Netflix. This story is about teen Lala Jeans live a normal boring high school life until some unexpected letters get released to all her former crushes. These were love letters and were meant for her eyes only. Until one day, her sister Kitty sends them out in hope to give Lala Jeans a more interesting life. At school, her life is thrown into chaos when these boys start to approach her about their letters. Among these boys are George, who happened to be her next-door neighbor and her older sister Margot's boyfriend, and Peter Kenwinsky, Jen's boyfriend. However, Lala is concerned about how her feeling for George could ruin her relationship with her sister, so she decided to have a fake relationship with Peter Kenwinsky. Peter agrees to play a faking relationship with Lala so that Jen would get jealous and want him back. After a while for fake relationship, Lala Jeans and Peter Kenwinsky confess to each other that they are in love with each other or not. Through this situation, Lala Jean maybe find the real love and even the real relationship.
You gotta tell people how you feel when you feel it.
I like me better when
So next, 17 again. 17 years old Mike is the star of his high school basketball team college scholarship and is dating his soulmate Scarlett. But at was supposed to be his big game where a college scout is checking him out. Scarlett tells him that she is pregnant. Mike decides to leave the game and asks Scarlett to marry him, which she does. During their marriage, Mike regrets the life he lost because he married her, so she throws him out. When he also lost his job, he returned to the only place he is happy at, which is his high school. While looking at his high school photo, a janitor asked him if he wishes he could be 17 again, and he said yes. One night while driving, he sees the janitor on a bridge ready to jump and goes after him. When he returned to his friend Ned's house, where he has been staying, he sees that he is 17 again. He decides to take this opportunity to change his decision at that time for using his teenager life. But at the end, Mike is then transformed back into the current age, happily reunion with Scarlett. He said that she was the best decision he ever made.
Next movie is Mean Girls. Katie Heron, a 16-year-old girl, moved to a new home in the United States from a bush country of Africa. She goes to a new public school where she meets Janice and Damien. Her new friends want her to stay away from the plastics, which is the popular, crude, and beautiful clique headed by Regina George with Gretchen and Karen. When Katie sees Aaron Samuels, she falls in love. Once Regina finds out, she seeks revenge from Katie by taking Aaron back. Now, Katie, Janice, and Damien plot to bring Regina's status down. However, as Katie continues to spend more time with the plastics, she starts to become one of them. Next is Wild Child. The Moores, widowed father Jerry and his two teenage daughters, Poppy and Molly, are a wealthy family from Malibu. They have all the luxuries and modern convenience of life. Ever since her mother died 5 years earlier in a car accident, 16-year-old Poppy has been acting out, causing her father grief most specifically in any of his attempts for meaningful relationships with other women. Because of Poppy's latest actions, he finally decides to send Poppy to boarding school, more specifically to Abbey Mount in England. On the first day, she makes enemies of most dorm mates, especially dominant lacrosse school captain Harriet and the school's principal, Mrs. Kingsley. Unwilling to accept the strict regime, she decides to misbehave and take the blame for everyone until she's dismissed. The school's only appealing feature for her is Kingsley's dashing son Freddie. When the Dream Prince transfers his favor from ambitious, uptight Harriet to unruly Poppy, that changes everything.
To college and move into her dorm with assistance from her mother and her high school boyfriend Noah. She meets her roommate Steph and her girlfriend Tristan. Her mother is displeased, thinking that they may be bad influence for Tessa. Until she meets Hardin, the guy she never knew she would fall for. Hardin has a mess of life. He is disrespectful and hangs out with the wrong crowd. Yet, with living such a total life, a person like Hardin awakens something in Tessa. He is troubled by his father's drunken past, guilt over his mom, and has an issue connecting with people. But Tessa could change all of that if she can get past all Hardin has ever done. Something which includes a video which could ruin things forever.
This movie called CLUELESS. This is about Cher and Naomi, are best friends who live in the Beverly Hills. They are popular, rich, pretty, and charming. One day, they spot a new girl at school, Ty, and decides to do a makeover on her. Cher soon realizes that she wants a boyfriend herself, but no one seems right. She goes through a spiritual makeover and realizes that there's more to life than clothes and popularity. Before she finds the boy of her dream. With this makeover, she learns about caring for others, going through pain and love. The next movie that we want to recommend you to watch is called Perfect Date. The movie is about Brooks Rattigan, an average boy who has big dreams of going to Yale. After volunteering to go on a paid date with Callie, he comes up with the idea of raising funds for college by launching an app. With the help of his best friend Murphy, where girls can rent him as their stand-in date, Brooks launches an app selling himself as a +1 for all occasions. Along the way, he meets the girl of his dreams, but when business starts to boom, Brooks must resist everything he was once sure of.
High school student Sierra Burgess isn't popular and unattractive. Despite that, she's relatively okay with her life. She is smart, she can stand up to bullies, and she's hanging out with her best friend Dan. Until hot guy Jamie, the quarterback of the rival football team, starts flirting with her through text. The only problem is a case of mistaken identity because he thinks Sarah is the resident mean and popular girl Veronica. Instead of correcting him, Sarah works out a deal with Veronica to continue the line. Sarah will help Veronica not to flunk her classes, and Veronica will lend her face so that Sarah can continue the fake relationship with Jamie.
The last movie that we want to recommend it to you is Project X. It is about high school senior Thomas Cup wants to have a small get-together while his parents leave town. His two friends convinced him to not worry and invited a couple more people to attend. Thomas invites his crunch and Costa invites literally everyone else in the school and the neighborhood. They buy enormous amounts of alcohol, hire students as security, and even buy drugs from a local weed dealer. Thomas hopes to keep the party outside, but it grows too large too quickly, spreading to his home and both his front and backyard. Costa admits to Thomas that he advertised it on the radio, trying to get everyone in the wide radiance to attend. The party seems to be going well, and it seems to be working in Thomas' favor when the hottest girl in school attempts to sleep with him. But when Thomas Crunch walks in on his hookup in progress, the party starts to immediately turn into a nightmare for Thomas. He attempts to shut it down. It grows beyond his control, spreading to the entire block, resulting in non-stop violence, sex, and mayhem. When the cops arrive and a riot ensues, Thomas, Costa, and JB try to figure out how to end the party before it ruins their lives.
These movies are all available on Netflix. We hope you enjoy and stay safe at home. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe our channel. Bye!